another study of the life of Christ. We're on week 2. We are doing Jesus as a child. How old was Jesus where we left off last week?
Baby.
No? Well, baby. But how old? We figured out exactly.
18 months.
Younger.
6 months.
No.
16
Younger.
40 days old.
40 days old.
Why? Where was he?
Because Jesus was where?
You took him off the map.
At the temple, getting dedicated, which happened at 40 days. He got circumcised at 8 days, and at the temple, dedicated at 40 days. He met 2 very old people. One who God told him, you will not die until you see the Messiah. And it took a little longer than he thought, probably. He was very old. Anna, and what was the other guy's name? Simeon? Is that right? Look in your thing. Anybody?
Okay.
Yeah, open up your harmonies, guys. Open up to Matthew 2. That's where we're going to be today.
Chapters?
Yeah, Matthew chapter 2.
Okay.
There's not a first.
No, I was asking for the name of the old guy.
Oh, yeah. But it'll
But I
probably
forgot.
be, they can just back up and see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, in their notebook, though. We put it in there.
His name is Old Guy.
So today we are looking at Jesus as a child. So there's very few events on Simeon. That was right. Yes. Very few events on Jesus' early life, like basically before he turns 30. So we're only going to have like 3 weeks on the first 30 years of Jesus' life. The rest that we know much more about happens in his active ministry. So Jesus is a child. Who are our characters today? Do you see them on next to the map?
Oh, they're flannel graph, guys.
Yeah,
We
we have
upgraded.
legit flannel graph now. Do you see our characters for today?
Jesus, King Herod, and Wise
Yes. Good job. So we're going to place them on our map as we move them around. But if you want to open up to either your Bible in Matthew 2 or in the Harmony, I'll tell you the page number of the Harmony. Page 38 in the Harmony book. So, what we have here, as you can see, is Matthew and Luke telling us the story today, like we talked about. Mark just starts off in Jesus' adult life, and John has really nothing in the early parts either. And we just have Matthew and Luke that tell us these stories, but they tell different parts. Like we talked about last week, Luke doesn't talk about the wise men at all. Matthew doesn't talk about the shepherds at all. So often today, what we're going to be studying often is placed wrong in the Christmas story. So we didn't talk about the wise men last week. Why? Yes.
Because they don't come until he's like 3.
Yeah.
And
So
Ashley
he's
wasn't
older.
here last week.
Probably not even 3. Probably a little bit. Probably 2 or less, but very close. So the one thing here, where are Joseph, Mary, and Jesus right now? We left them in Jerusalem. We left them in Jerusalem, but where do they go back? Any guesses? Nazareth is a guess. What's the other guess? Bethlehem. We don't know which one this is. This is debated. I think it's Bethlehem. What does it
Where
say?
did the babies get killed?
Egypt.
Bethlehem.
Okay.
So, but there is a note here in your Harmony. What does it say? Right before Luke 2:39.
Return to Nazareth.
So your Harmony says return to Nazareth. It's possible they return to Nazareth, but for some reason we find them in Bethlehem again. So I kind of think that they settle for at least a little while in Bethlehem. Okay. So because of a couple things, who can start reading for us Matthew 2:1 through 12?
What did you ask?
Volunteer to read. All right, Kai. Matthew 2:1 through 12.
Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from the eastern lands arrived in Jerusalem.
Okay, pause there. We got to move some characters on the map. So we got wise men. Where did they come from? Who wants to put the wise men up? Go for it, Jake. Where did the wise men come from? The east. What is in the east?
I guess they would come.
You're right.
So where?
Wait.
Are they actually coming from?
Wait, so they're here. They saw it in the east. And technically they are from the east. Yeah. They're still from the east.
But yeah, wouldn't the star be in the west then?
Where should he put them? How far do they travel?
We think Babylon.
Yeah, that far.
Babylon's not that far.
So why do we think Babylon? It's not that far.
Okay, Jake, we're gonna put it right here.
Babylon's that way. But you're right, if they saw a star in
Saw
the
it
east.
in the east. That means that they saw it from the west.
So that means they were in the east.
They were in the west. They were in the west.
But what's to the west, you guys?
He was across the sea. Maybe they
Like Spain, Portugal?
Yeah.
Okay, why most people think they came from Babylon. Why did people think that? Other reasons.
What have we studied in Daniel right now?
The wise men.
What was Daniel?
A wise man.
Yes. What did Daniel do when he was in
Wise.
Babylon?
Interpret.
He wrote some prophecy and probably had some scripture too. So we think that because they have some knowledge of biblical prophecy, they're probably in the same study group of Daniel. They weren't descended from Daniel. They're not Jewish, but they are wise men
School of thought?
that would have been studying Daniel's writings. So the wise men, where did they go? Do we have it? Yeah. Where did they come to?
Where do you come from? Where'd you go? That we just asked.
Oh, my translation says, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem. And then it says, we saw his star in the east. Does that mean they were in the east?
No,
They were
when
in
they were
the
in
east.
the east, they saw the star.
Okay.
Okay.
They followed it west. There we go. We're getting directions and stuff. So where are the wise men right
In
now?
Babylon.
No.
In the east.
No, where are they now?
Where'd they make it?
Jerusalem.
Okay, who's moving it?
Jake, you're the wise man guy. We need a Herod mover.
I'll be Herod.
Micah, you want to move Herod?
Oh,
I wanted to be Herod.
Where does Herod live? Go to Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. Perfect. Look at that.
No, move
Gorgeous.
Herod to Egypt. No, move Herod to Jerusalem.
All right, Herod.
They're hanging out.
So put it right on top of
Can I
the
be
Magi.
Jesus? I'm gonna be
Oh,
Herod.
right next to you. There you go. All right. They're together.
Can I be Jesus for I'm
All
Herod.
right. They came to worship him. All right. Kai, keep reading.
Where's the newborn king of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him. King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, as everyone in Jerusalem.
Why do you think King Herod's disturbed?
Because he's the king. He's like, wait,
There's a new king? What?
Every king is worried he's going to get taken out.
Yeah.
And these guys probably didn't show up every day. It's probably quite the.
No, it's quite a deal. Yeah. Okay, keep reading, Kai.
He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of the religious law and asked, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" "In Bethlehem in Judea," they said. "For this is what the prophet wrote. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are not least among the ruling cities of Judah. For a ruler will come from you, who will be the shepherd for my people Israel." Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men. He learned from them the time when the star first appeared.
Note that he got a timeline because we're trying to follow Jesus' life, where he went, what he did. Herod figured out the timeline of when the star appeared. When did the star appear? When Jesus was born. So he's marking the date that he thinks Jesus was born.
So if we find Herod's things, we'll know exactly when zero started.
Well, I don't know if he wrote it down, but
Mr.
he
Richards
figured it out.
talked to me about
We're gonna have an indicator of what he thought later. Okay, keep going, Kai.
Then he told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me so I can go and worship him too."
Liar! Sorry. Did you catch that? Herod wants to worship Jesus? No, he doesn't. He's lying. All right, keep going, Kai. I'll stop interrupting.
After this interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was.
Okay, pause. Now who's moving? Jake, move the wise men to where? Bethlehem.
All right, I'll get the king off.
It's all too big. They're too close.
They're all huge.
All right, who else is in Bethlehem? The child with his mother, Mary.
Wait, what about Joseph?
He's not there.
He's not mentioned. Interesting.
All right,
Oh,
but
maybe it's not.
should we assume they're together?
Yeah, you can put them all
I'm
there.
Jesus.
Who wants to put Jesus?
I'm
All right,
Mary.
Georgia.
We're
Okay,
Jesus and Mary.
do Mary. Mary and Jesus. We don't have to put Joseph down.
Yeah, Joseph's not there.
He's
Sorry,
not
Joseph,
mentioned.
Single mom.
Joseph's not there.
He is very shortly. We'll add him in a second. All right. So, a couple things. Does it say baby?
No.
Baby Jesus? No, it says child Jesus. There is a distinction that means something different. Jesus is not a newborn baby anymore. We can track his age in a minute here. And then Mary. And also, what did they come to? On verse 11, on coming to the what?
Follow along, guys. It's in your Bibles. This is an open book test. You can answer this.
Verse 11, on coming to the house.
They're living there.
So are they in the stable anymore?
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
This is what bugs me about everyone's Christmas story. The wise men don't come to the stable. They're not there with the shepherds. It all happens later.
Where do you
Jesus
find
is a
the
child
nativity?
and he's in a house.
Who
So,
has a nativity?
here's what you do. You take your little wise men and you put them east of the nativity because that's where they were on Christmas.
Oh, dude, perfect. They have
Get it
that
right.
Thing, and they're like, actually, this is not biblically correct.
That's right.
Wise men were not there. And then they're like,
Thank you, dude perfect. They get it. Okay.
Perfect.
They bow
So
down,
your
worship
mom is
him.
going to give you gifts 3 years later.
Yeah.
So you don't get, like on Christmas, you don't get gifts that are good for you as a 15-year-old. You get your 12-year-old gifts. So it took 3 years.
So now we have that little boy, child Jesus, not a baby. They open their treasures, present him with gifts of gold, incense, and myrrh. How many wise men are there?
Three.
Where does it say that?
Oh,
Guys, read your Bible. Don't just think of the Christmas stories you've been told.
What is
Read the Bible.
Three wise men.
It doesn't say that.
Where?
There's 3 gifts.
Where does it say three
It's
wise
just
men?
Magi.
There's
It's just
3
Magi.
gifts. So
There's 3 types of gifts. There could be
Correct.
numerous amounts of them.
A lot of people assume there's 3 wise men because there's 3 gifts, but it says nowhere that
They
there's
really
3 of
travel
them.
on camels.
It's just Magi.
It would have been a common mode of transportation for people from their area, so that's probably
So they
true.
wouldn't travel on sheep.
But like Georgia was like, it says it there. She was sure of it.
I thought it did.
We are so used to
I actually was like,
tradition, but we don't read our Bibles enough. You
Are
know,
you sure? I'm checking.
check, please check. This is all, like Jessica said, this is all open book. Read your Bible. How many wise men were there? It's just plural. We don't
Where
know.
am I going?
You should be asking.
At least 2.
Found on Herod.
Right, because it's not just singular Magi.
Yeah, there's not
Wait,
just
is it
one.
on the same page? Is it on 39 by the last?
Yep. Okay. They brought their 3 gifts. They bought, it's not even necessarily 3 gifts. 3 kinds of gifts, which if we had time, you can dig into these kinds of gifts. Real quick, they represent his kingship, his deity, and the fact that he's going to die. Okay? Gold represents he's like kingly. Frankincense represents that he's spiritually, that he's deity, he's God.
Is what you do
And
on
myrrh is what you put on dead bodies. So that's what people have made connections to. Anyway, that's just
Would that be
side
kind of
note.
ominous? Like, thanks for this myrrh?
Well, it's all are these valuable gifts or just dollar store trash?
Valuable.
Very valuable gifts. These spices, they're things of value. We're gonna find that out also more. All right, verse 12. Having then the Magi, wise men, have a dream. Having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they return to their country by another route. All right, Jake, move the wise men on. Move them back to Babylon. So, do they go back to Jerusalem? No. And then what
Because
happens?
why?
Because of Herod. They're scared of him.
Yes.
So God sends a,
God sends a dream.
Because of Herod.
yeah,
Yep.
bad news, guys.
Good job, Jake.
I moved them around Jerusalem.
Yes, they avoided Jerusalem. Good
That's
job.
really good.
All right. So now they have gifts. The Magi visit. That would have been very special, though. Think about like for Mary and Joseph, like that would have been so random. Like these guys from the east are showing up, like the shepherds showing up, that was pretty miraculous. They saw angels, but then these guys from foreign land showing
They
up
probably know Jesus
with
is
these
special.
gifts.
Right.
What do
Here's
you
I'm
think
thinking.
Mary and Joseph thought about all this?
What you're doing
It's
with my mouse.
confirming what they already have in their
It's
dreams.
confirmation, yeah.
Probably like, I don't really know, but like, they knew Jesus was special, but they didn't know he would get this much special treatment.
It's like later
Yeah,
it's
like the
just
angel
not-
had definitely confirmed to them, but like, you know, do you think Mary and Joseph could have had doubts? Like they'd be like, they heard all this miraculous stuff around his birth, right? And then like he's just a kid. He's just a normal kid.
Like
and
when
they're
he
like-
died too at the temple. It's like they were trying to like raise him as a normal kid.
Yeah, they
They're
definitely
like,
are.
"He's not normal."
They're not like broadcasting this. They're not like, they're just raising him as a normal child. Like we talked about, Jesus lived a very, in every way, a normal human life, but he was also God, right? So like, for the purpose of being our example, he grew up as a normal child in so many ways. Without sin, though. So he would have been a perfect kid. Do you think Jesus cried, like that song says, no crying he makes?
Yeah, we
Totally
changed
cried.
the lyrics.
I've
Yes.
had kids, they all cry.
Yeah, I mean, crying's not a sin, right? It's how babies
Crying
communicate.
is good for your health.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to read our next section, Matthew 2:13 to 18?
Oh wait, where she's written.
Who wants to read? Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, George is,
No, you're
you
not
guys
gonna-
said you had to say
Are
that.
you gonna stop?
Go ahead, George. Yeah, I'll stop you and interrupt you a lot. It's really annoying.
When they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph.
Hey, Joseph's here now. You can put Joseph on the map.
I'm Joseph. Where is he?
Okay.
You
Samaria.
guys,
Good Samaritan.
all right, guys. Joseph's now on the scene.
No, in Bethlehem.
No, King Herod is falling out.
Ah, Herod. Well,
Good riddance.
Good. Well, he's still in the story. Okay.
Appeared to Joseph in a dream. Get up, he said. Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you. For Herod is going to search for the child to kill him. So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. And so
Stop there.
all right, move your people.
All right, so where do they go?
Jesus. We're in Egypt.
So, do we know how old Herod was? Because how long?
I really
Because
want
the
to.
death of Herod.
No. So yeah, there's some some mysteries to the timeline that we're about to experience.
Why is she connected to Herod?
Okay, so Mary, Joseph, and Jesus all go where? Hey,
Someone's in
Herod,
trouble.
he's not
Oh,
he's not dead yet.
dead.
Wait, in the story,
Literally says Herod
Until he
Until
died.
he's
We're gonna talk about it. Because he still does something in the story, okay?
Oh, okay.
But it gave a timeline marker until Herod died. Okay, Mary and Joseph go to Egypt. Do you think it's free or to just like go to a new country and
Because they often
be
stay
refugees? How do you think they paid for this trip?
together. They just walk. They go to frankincense. and
So-
myrrh.
What is there any significance you think to the timing of these gifts and their need to flee to Egypt? Yes, Ashley?
Yeah.
What's the significance?
That they needed money to flee.
Yeah.
And then people just came and was like, here are gifts.
I know. Isn't that amazing that God provided what the financial means, essentially, that they needed to flee and go to a new country? Because that's not cheap and that's not free. Like you don't just get a job. Like Henry's looking for a job. You don't just like show up in Egypt. You don't even know the language. It's like hard to get a job, like way harder than normal even. So they would have to like stay somewhere, and maybe buy a house or like stay in an inn or something.
Personal application. How many times do we like feel like suddenly you're like, oh yay, I have a little bit of money now. I'm gonna go do the thing I've been wanting to do, and then boom, something else happens and you need to use it for that, and you're kind of like, kind of hurt. We're like, Lord, thanks for that provision. I feel like we've had that a lot, where
Yes.
you think it's like this long ago, you had like saved up for like new subwoofers in the youth room. And then you like got a bill from the t-shirt company and it was like triple what you thought the youth group t-shirts cost. And you were like, well, I'm glad I have the money.
And we don't have subwoofers.
And there's no subwoofers to this day. But like,
I don't even
God
remember
provided
that.
that. Oh, I totally remember that. That was when we did the summer tour t-shirts. We like, it was
Oh.
so
All right.
God provided that.
That was in 2009.
But I've always thought, if they didn't even come, they wouldn't need the money to flee, and no babies would be killed. But why do they have to
Yeah.
go to Egypt? Why is it important that they live in Egypt? Anyone
So
know?
he doesn't get dead.
No. What if the Magi never came and never talked to Herod, and they just grew up in Bethlehem?
Oh, we have to fill up the
Prophecy.
Yes. So it says, did we get that far, Georgia?
Am I ahead of myself?
I'm
No.
working on it.
What does the prophet say in Hosea 11:1?
So was fulfilled what the Lord had said to the prophet. Out of Egypt I called my son.
So this is prophecy that Jesus is fulfilling. This is a marker that he is the Messiah because he's fulfilling this prophecy. So yeah, all these things are in motion. Two things that's really interesting. Like this is God's plan, but he also is providing and protecting in the middle of this crazy events. All right, Herod now. Back to Herod. Where's Herod?
Bethlehem. No.
In Jerusalem. Go ahead, Georgia, 16.
When Herod realized that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious, and he gave orders to kill all the boys of Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years and under.
Pause there.
And it-
Why 2 years and under?
Because that's in accordance to the time he learned from the Magi did, and I just kept reading and we would know.
So we noted that he took track of the time. So how old is Jesus?
2 or under.
2 or under. So we don't know exactly, but when he goes to Egypt, he's 2 or under. So that's why we have Jesus is as a child younger than 2, and now we enter a time we don't know how long of when Jesus was in Bethlehem. That's a mystery. But also some more prophecy is being fulfilled. It says, then what is said to the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted, for they are no more. What's another story where they kill all the babies?
Egypt, Moses.
Moses, right? And Moses escapes it. So there's another parallel to Moses. What an awful thing, right? This Herod's just so evil and so jealous that someone else could be king. And this is what's crazy too. Herod, does he just think this is a random king? No, he thinks he goes and has them look for the messianic prophecy. He's trying to kill the Messiah. Like not just a random guy that's going to come and rule. He's trying to kill the Messiah. He believes it's the Messiah because he goes and looks for the prophecy. Where is the child going to be born? And he tries to kill him. He tries, and in doing so, he can't find him, so he kills everybody, all the baby boys. It's just so awful. It's the worst. Herod is super evil. Okay, who wants to read the next section? Matthew 2:19 through 23. Ben, you want to read?
Sure.
Okay.
When Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt. Get up, the angel said, take the child and his mother back to the land of Israel, because those who were trying to kill the child are dead. So Joseph got up and returned to the land of Israel with Jesus and his mother. But when he learned that...
Okay, pause there. Yeah. Now, okay, they're back to the land of Israel.
And who's in charge of King Herod? You take him off the map.
Herod's dead.
Go
It's
take him
like
off.
he's a never
Now
ending
he's dead.
film. It's like an Avatar when they brought back film because there's just another Herod.
Yeah, there is just another Herod. So what happens here?
Jesus and Mary.
What happens here is Herod dies, and is there a new Herod?
We're letting the same people do it over and over. So,
Is there a new Herod?
well, according to our Who list, there's Herod the Great and Herod
Archelaus.
Archelaus.
So what happens next is Herod's 3 sons divide his kingdom. Now there's 3 Herods, okay? Wait, we weren't supposed to go up there yet.
I just
Said
knew
the
it.
land of Israel.
Yeah, that's a whole area. But okay.
I cheated. No, I didn't cheat. I just knew.
So there's a new Herod in Jerusalem. There's Herod Philip up in the north. And there's one more Herod.
Antipas.
Wait, did they split
Antipas.
up the land?
Yeah. And they kind of rule together, but they kind of like
'Cause the
rule the regions. Yeah. So it's not just one
It's
Herod
like
anymore.
governor.
Okay, keep going, Ben.
So Joseph got up and returned to the land of Israel with Jesus and his mother. But when he learned that the new ruler of Judea was Herod's son Archelaus, he was afraid to go there. Then after being warned in a dream, he left for the region of Galilee. So the family went and lived in a town called Nazareth. This fulfilled what the prophets had said, he will be called a Nazarene.
So much prophecy being fulfilled here, which is cool. But this is another reason where I'm like, I think their intention was to live in Bethlehem, or at least in that area, because that's where he goes back to. And then
He gets scared.
he gets,
Well, do you think
And
it's-
another dream. I didn't know there was
and another dream, he goes up to Mary's hometown, Galilee area, Nazareth. And that fills another prophecy. So it's, to me, this seems like it wasn't the intention to grow up in Mary's hometown, but to grow up in what I think is Joseph's hometown. It's not super clear about that, which is Bethlehem. So, it's the story, like they get called to Bethlehem because of the census and stuff, but I think that he was there while she was pregnant, but I think the intention was for them to live in that area, and that was more of Joseph's hometown. And Nazareth is Mary's hometown, and that's where they end up because of the dream, because of Herod's son. Yeah.
Why do you think? Because I feel like a lot when I heard that, like it said Joseph was afraid. Usually that means he's gonna do something out of God's plan because he's afraid. But then it just mentioned that he had a dream that told him to do that. So why mention that he was afraid? Was his father intuition right about not wanting to go?
I guess so. Yeah, it's often like someone might do something out of fear, but that he has this dream. It's confirmed that he needs to. Yeah, Mark.
Well, I think in all this, we have guys working for us, that kind of had to flee their country. They're from Afghanistan, and it's like, man, how do you end up in Ferndale, Washington, of all places? But then you read like this, and it's like, well, Jesus himself is being moved around by, this bad guy in this situation, and well, let's not go here, and it's not really happy. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But it's God's at work in those things and creating those circumstances that kind of force people like, hey, we can't be here anymore. We got to get out of here. And it's both fulfilling prophecy and just putting people in the places. And he's doing that with his very own son. So he would definitely,
And how do we see God working in this? He's providing and he's protecting, right? Like both these things are happening. And we see over Jesus that it's expensive. He's a refugee in a new country that costs money. He's providing for it. They don't get taken advantage of, taken as slaves or something like their ancestors. In Egypt, someone mentioned that. And then back and then directing them, but also fulfilling prophecy. Like God knows the plan. Like this is what's so interesting. Like you brought up, well, why did he send the wise men? They just caused a problem, but it fulfilled the prophecy. But if he hadn't sent the wise men, then he wouldn't have needed to fulfill. The prophecy wouldn't need to exist. And anyway, but it's all like God's plan, and these scary circumstances that put them into play. It's just all fulfilling God's perfect plan. The prophecy beforehand and the events that happen, and then his provision and protection all through it.
It's a phrase like God's redirecting them, but it's redirecting not just through a simple situation, it's through painful situations. God can redirect you through your painful situation.
Yeah, what did Delane say last week? That's a C.S. Lewis quote, right? Pain is God's megaphone, right? Like God gets our attention often through pains, through difficult circumstances, and redirects us and moves us and changes us through pain. But he also is there for us in our pain, providing for us in our pain, and it's really neat to see that. Okay, we're almost done. We do dip into Luke a little bit. So we have some crossover. So this Luke, basically at the end of the Christmas story, it sends them back to Nazareth. But to line up these two stories, because we believe that Matthew and Luke are both telling the truth, but some focus on details and some leave out other details, right? We have Luke 2:39, when Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee in their own town of Nazareth. So that verse comes right after that dedication in the temple where we left off yesterday. But now we see that Luke just didn't tell the whole Egypt story.
So Luke
He didn't-
skips all of this.
Luke skips all this,
and
and
goes
only
straight back.
Matthew tells this.
Okay.
Why? I don't know. We don't know why Luke didn't tell that part of the story. But they're not disagreeing with each other. That's what's so interesting how we study these Gospels. They're different, but not disagreeing with one another. And Luke 2:40, the child grew up, became strong, was filled with wisdom. The grace of God was upon him. And that's where we're going to leave him. He's growing up in Nazareth. Okay, so now we talk about the how. How did all this happen? God keeps Jesus safe by warning his dad and providing for his needs. So this is like all these things are going on. The king is trying to kill Jesus, but God is keeping Jesus safe with all these dreams through Joseph, which is just amazing.
I was going to interject.
Yeah.
Joseph has had a previous dream too. What did we remember last week?
Yeah.
About taking Mary as his wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So
Joseph's
if
got,
you
like,
think about
yes, Lord,
Joseph a
yes,
little
Lord.
bit, like such an obedience, right? Like he's not doubting God. Like it says he gets up that night, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like his immediate obedience. We can learn a lot from that, right? Like we're like, I don't know if God's really telling me that. We question, and we pause, and we wait. Joseph's like, all right, I'm going. And I think this is a cool repeated thing in Joseph's life that he learns to be dependent on this. I mean, from the first one, it's not like he had a problem obeying God's dreams. But did you have your hand up? No. Okay. And then why? So the model, like what is on display here for us? And we've been talking about this a little bit. But displays how God can use different events, difficult events to fulfill his plan, and how he provides and protects us while we follow him. Like, Joseph, if they had disobeyed God, like things would have been very different. He'd been like, nah, we're safe, we're good. I'm not afraid of Herod. Like, they would have come and killed the baby.
Can you imagine when the news comes to you in Egypt, or I don't know if they would have heard, but like to know what had happened had they not left?
Yeah. Hey, you're right. They didn't know that was coming.
Nope.
They just knew they had to leave and go to a new country, which is scary and a big deal. The reason we don't know the 2 to 6 years old when they came back is we don't really know how long Herod lived after he killed the babies. That's just a mystery. That's an unknown amount of time. I was reading, trying to nail that down, but it's anywhere from 4 years or so, 2 to maybe 2 to 4 years. So Jesus it could have been just 6 months or something in Egypt, but probably a year or two, all the way up to 4 years possibly. All right, how can we apply this? The us section.
So only guess one, and we'll.
We can trust God to blank. Protect?
Yep.
Yes. We can trust God to protect and
What?
provide.
So only guess one. You are locked in though.
We can trust God to protect and provide for us when we what?
Follow him.
Trust Him. I put follow
It says
Him.
it right on the why.
Yeah,
How he
it's
provides
an
and
easy
protects us
peasy.
while we
It is an
follow
easy
him.
one.
It's an easy peasy one.
How do you think Mary felt during this whole time? We talked about Joseph quite a bit. How do you think Mary felt during all this? It doesn't say, so you can. Tired. She's a young mom.
She had to ride a donkey to Jerusalem and give birth.
Getting
and
moved
then
around. She
Bethlehem.
just settled in at Bethlehem. Now she's going to Egypt. She just settled into Egypt. Now she's got to move back. And now she's going back to Nazareth. I find it interesting. Where did Mary spend most of her pregnancy?
And Elizabeth.
Yeah, not in her hometown of Nazareth. How do you think she feels about going back to Nazareth? This is all speculation. So
This is your sanctified imagination.
think about her. She's a young teenage, unmarried pregnancy
She's 17.
in a small town. If she was normal getting married age, she'd be about 14 to 16. So
Raise your hand if you're between 14 and 16. Or are you 14, 15, or 16?
unmarried pregnant teenager. What are the challenges with being that person?
Small town living.
In a small town.
Like Lyndon.
super smaller. This is like Acme,
I love it. Just throw it out there.
like 200 people.
So is it hard or is it easy? Not
Hard.
There'd be a lot of judgment, a lot of criticism, a lot of like whispers when you walk by. You
But
know,
yet they know that they have the Messiah, but they don't also broadcast it. It's
Right.
interesting.
we don't see her like an angel told me so. Like no one would believe you anyway, kind of thing. Like it's a virgin birth, I promise. Like no one's gonna believe you because there's only been one of those. Yeah, so I think it would have been hard for Mary to go back to Nazareth, but that was also God's plan, was for Jesus to grow up there. So,
Here's one last question.
last question. How has God provided for and protected you and your family?
Shelter.
Shelter? Yeah. How else? How else have you seen God provide and protect? Jake?
He helps you when you don't even know you need it.
Don't even know what?
You need it.
You don't even know you need it. Okay. Yeah, I lost one of my clients. That was my biggest client last year. And at the same time, I was getting a new client, and it was almost the exact same amount. And I was kind of excited because I was going to make more money, but it was actually just God replacing the missing money that I was making. And so I saw God in that, like, oh, that's why I got this job, because that job was disappearing. Not for me to have extra money. That was something I saw this year. Anything else? Have you seen God provide and protect for you and your family?
Well, it's like small, but Brian took Addison to Colorado, and I decided not to go because, like when we took Ellie to college, it was summer, we both went, and that was really fun. But I was looking at when Addie needed to go, and school was in session, and there was sports, and then we have a driver home, and I just was like, but I really hurt because I wanted to take Addie. Like I was like, oh, she would love that, I would love that. But then literally the day you're flying, like Eula comes down with strep throat, and I have to take her to the doctor, and I have to I'm just like, it's small, but I was like, I'm so glad I was home for that I wasn't like on the phone with grandma being like, can you take her to the doctor? You know, that's just chaotic. And so it's just like a small thing. Like it was like more like a confirmation. Like, oh, that's why I needed to stay home, because I had to care for my family.
All right, be looking for how God is providing and protecting for you as He leads you around challenging circumstances, because He did that for Jesus. He does that for us too.
Did it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.